I need water. We're in that span of time where we vamp while other people find it. You want water, Liv?
No, I still have coffee.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yay!
Sorry about that. We're gonna figure this out eventually.
Yeah.
We at least figured
Hello.
out how to do it with the third party software to make it smooth.
We'll get there.
But doing it directly through YouTube, I don't know.
So, the last thing I'm going to try with this is the cry cut came with markers. So instead of cutting through the paper, it will just draw on it. And I have this piece of paper here from before everything went weird. When Brattleboro was considering.
No, Brattleboro was not considering it. Some dude.
The question on the table, first of all, is should we go from a select board to a mayor system? Should our town have a mayor instead of a council?
Yeah, because what we have right now is that we have a select board.
I don't know why you need a cry cut for this, but it came with markers, so I want to try them.
If you don't like the way that your handwriting looks, I guess. But yeah, so what we have right now is a select board made up of, how many people is it? Like 5?
Yeah.
And they do get elected in. And, you know, because there's several of them, and they not control, but they handle all of the major decisions in town. So because there are several of them, they can like discuss things, and there are multiple viewpoints that come to the table to make these sorts of decisions, like should we ban single-use plastic bags and switch over to reusable tote bags,
or how well is the parking working, or a number of different things, really. And we have a great select board. Most of us really like it, but a couple of dudes decided that they would like the town to think about having a mayor. Oh, but I wouldn't run. I just want a mayor.
Yeah, and there was
one of them owned a big bank downtown.
A bank. It's
a local bank, but it's still
it's a credit union. No, it's not a bank.
No, BSNL is a bank.
No, it's a savings and loan credit union.
Anyway. The question was, do we want a mayor? And every time someone asked these 2 dudes who were circulating this petition, why do you want a mayor? The answer was, well, I just think it would be more effective.
Yeah, that somehow consolidating power into a single person would make it more likely for other people's viewpoints to be heard and considered, and that for some reason a mayor who in theory would be chosen from the same people who are also chosen for the select board would have more experience. And so we and
also the mayor would be able to do more, even though like the specific things that every time when pressed, like, what do you want the mayor to do? They would cite things that Brattleboro as a town cannot do because we don't have a strong mayor system in Vermont. The state government can do a lot and the town governments can do very little. So they would say things like, oh, the mayor could change laws. And it turns out that no. The state has the power to do a lot of things that individual towns cannot do. Yeah, have more experience as a mayor, I guess?
Yeah, just the fact that they would be elected to be mayor would somehow make them have more experience than some of the people who have been on the select board for years. Like, we've been living here for 5 years, and there is at least one guy on the select board who's been there since we've moved here.
And he's great. And he does things like post on Facebook when someone asks, what's the deal with the traffic signals downtown? They seem to be broken. And he will be like, yes, they're broken. Here's the plan to fix it. Here's the crew. The crew is going out right now. He just knows, and he's on top of telling people, and it's pretty great. So I have this paper that says, should Brattleboro consider a mayoral form of government? And I just use my Cricut to answer that question. And it has like a cute little flower, and it has neat little lettering, and I don't know whether I really needed a Cricut to express this. I did not, but that's one of the things that it can do, is that it can just take a marker and say,
Yeah,
lol, no.
This is from an open forum that was organized by somebody who was also like very confused about what they thought, like where this was coming from, because none of them ever answered any questions like with any specificity. Just, it would be better. It would be better. He would have more experience. It says LOL no, and then there's a little flower. It's backwards on the stream.
It's backwards on the stream, and also it's like outlined against the text.
Yeah.
It's not the clearest. For
yeah.
sure.
So somebody else got kind of, I don't want to say frustrated, because I don't know her that well, but she was also like, I want more information about this. Like, why do you think this is a good thing? What do you think a mayor can do that a select board can't? Oh, it looks backwards to us. That's interesting.
Oh, cool.
But so she organized this open forum to have both people who preferred the select board system and the people proposing that we switch over to a mayoral system. It was like the Sunday before the primary. Yeah, it was the big local vote. So it was the presidential the primary, and then a bunch of other local stuff, including this. Yeah. And I volunteered to help with wrangling people,
participants.
And
then they didn't show up, right? Like the people who actually wanted to get the mayor happy, they didn't show up to the local forum.
I got there, and one of the first things I was told was that neither of the two men who were proposing this and who had sent around the petition in a kind of weirdly shady way.
They hired people to like go into private businesses.
Well, so here's the thing. They, as far as most people knew, they had hired somebody to hang out either inside or outside the food co-op to get people to sign. What are we talking about right now? Our local recent proposal for our town to switch from select board system to a mayoral system.
Yeah, so a couple of shady dudes wanted our town to have a mayor, and then there was an open forum for input, and then they didn't show up to the open forum. And it seems like if you want to influence town politics, you should show up and talk to the people.
They didn't just not show up. What happened was that what I was told when I got to the open forum was that they said that they were out of town that weekend, and both of them out of town that weekend, the weekend before the election, and they did not have somebody that they could send in their stead.
Which means they didn't have like another supporter. They just had two people, and these two people were rich enough to hire someone to circulate a petition.
Right. No. What happened was that what they said was that they paid somebody to stand outside of the co-op,
right,
and collect signatures, which most people knew about that, and a lot of people were kind of weirded out about that because
not
like
normal
a
in
lot
this
of things
town.
are done by petition in this town.
Yeah.
Like in order to be considered for the select board, you have to get a certain number of signatures from people in your area, and for town meeting.
But if you
but-
have to hire someone,
Right. So the thing is, most people just do that. Like they either go around themselves or, well, I guess they kind of have to go around themselves.
Yeah.
But so the fact that they hired somebody else to do it was kind of, it set people off. Like it's not illegal, it's not against the rules or anything, but people were kind of put off by that. But so in the article where they talked about that, they also said that that was the only thing that they did, that they didn't go into any businesses, and they only had the one person standing outside of the food co-op collecting signatures.
And this was a lie.
They
lied to a reporter and said that they only had one person collecting signatures when we knew that they had at least one other person in one other place because someone came to our business in the cotton mill, our studio, and asked if any of us would like to sign this petition in the middle of our workday while we were sewing binders. And they lied about it afterwards. That was weird.
Yeah.
Why? Like, again, it's not illegal to do. It's just weird to do it and then lie about it to the newspaper.
Anyway, it was soundly voted against.
Defeated by a margin of, I think, 4-1. No one is interested in whatever the hell they were selling.
Anyway, I pulled out all of my grandmother's handkerchiefs. Well, some of them are your grandmother's. This is the one that I really wanted to show. St. Patrick's Day one.
Yeah, no, they were shady. They were shady as hell. So.
They're also the bank that we do our banking with.
Now, to be fair, it's not they're the bank. Yes, the guy owns and runs the bank, but the bankers who I have actually worked with through this whole mess have been really nice and kind and responsive. Yeah. And we got the Paycheck Protection Program, which was great, and I credit our bank with that, honestly.
Yeah,
they were
we just barely squeaked through.
Yeah, and they were really on it to make that happen. So my brainwave for why we need like long, even cut strips of this. Where's the masks? Where's a bag of sewn masks?
Oh,
over there. Will you nab those?
Here is a bag of sewn masks.
Yeah. So the masks that we've been doing, we've done like two kinds, right? One of them is a kind with ear loops sewn in, and one of them is this kind, which gets a cord wound through it, right? This is the paracord that Agreeable Agony sent us, and they're lovely. And in theory, you can just like thread a cord through one of these because the mask just has a bit of bias tape at the end of it, binding it together with little loops, maybe too little, but still little loops that a cord can go through. And then the cord can just get tied right on your face.
Also, look at that. It's like black and rainbow.
We have...
The colors aren't quite showing up too well, but
we have a custom rope supplier now.
Yeah.
And so my theory, now that I'm, thinking about it, is what if... Let me find one with bigger holes. There we go. What if we take... some of this stuff, which is just the spandex. This is our Jellyfish Tears spandex, which I cut into an inch wide thing and then stretched it until it rolled up super nice. And I just use that and slide it through here. Ooh, I need slightly bigger loops to make this work, but
it looks fine.
Right? It's just hard to do. It's hard to push through. Okay.
Just get a pusher.
Yeah. And then I cut it at like relatively long for an ear loop. This is what, maybe 12, 14 inches, so that there's space to knot it. And then you knot it, and then you have an ear loop. And this is so much easier than what I was trying to do, which I was trying to sew these long strips of spandex onto the edges of a pleated cotton mask. And that was just tripping me up a lot. And there were a lot of mishaps because it needed stretched thread and it needed a whole bunch of things. And every time the pleat slipped slightly out of the slippery, stretchy cotton, then there would be a pleat just hanging out with a raw edge. And I would need to take it apart and redo it. It was really slow. But if it's just cotton here and then like an ear loop tied through it and wound on.
Could you, instead of tying it, because I would worry about the knot like irritating the back of your ear, could you just do a seam?
Yeah.
And like maybe do it in here so it's not rubbing against sensitive
You mean
skin.
Sew the ends together like there?
Yeah.
Could definitely sew the ends together. I don't know if I could conveniently do it in between those two.
Well, you wouldn't have to do it in between them because it can
rotate. Yeah, I could do that.
I don't know if that's just adding more work.
It is, but it's potentially possible. And even if we add that little bit more work, it will still save so much work from the pain and suffering I have been going through trying to get a spandex stretch bias tape cast onto a raw edged pleat. And that's the sort of really the putting the stretch on the raw edge pleat has been, I mean, I've got like a 90% success rate, but that just means 1 in 10 is messed up and then I need to go back and redo it. And
yeah, I mean, I guess the knot doesn't necessarily have to be at the back of the head, but it's also still like, or the back of the ear.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of bulky.
Yeah.
And if you could just like run it through the
serger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just have a little seam that can be tucked anywhere.
Lana says, I'm chronically ill, wear masks all year round. I'm so grateful I had a few before all this happened. Yeah, it's hard. Like, people are buying from us and then, like, trying to email us and harass us because they really, really need one. It's like, I get it. We're going as fast as we can. What's really good is when the loops are long enough to go around the back of the head, to knot at the back of the head and not on the ears. Then it can't fall off your ears. That was my theory with the tie-ons, is that it just goes around the back of the head twice, and then you knot it, and then you're done, and you can like pull it back, and you can adjust it, and when you untie it, if there's a solid knot here, when you untie it, you can just pull it straight out from your face and lift it all off, and it's really easy to take off and take on without touching the inside of the mask like you're not supposed to, or even without touching the outside of the mask. You can just put your finger in the side of it and pull it out, and then it hangs on my car rearview mirror or on a hat hook when I'm not, unless it's going straight in the wash. Yeah, made myself masks with a similar ear loop, and I turned it so the knot is inside the mask. Oh yeah, so that's what Krista was saying. I think that you want the knot to be like in between these two bits.
Yeah, rather than rubbing on the back of the ear. Yeah, so we like picked up a bunch of these like hoodie holders.
Yeah. I need to get them in bulk.
So that you can like adjust it to your head size.
Yeah, I need to get those in bulk. We've only got like 20. Yeah. Do ours have filter pockets? They do not, because our local hospital specifically requested a certain pattern, and it doesn't have a filter pocket. And so we've just been doing that, and we've been donating to the hospital, and it's so much easier to make one thing than to make 3 different things. So that's why they don't. They could. It wouldn't be that hard for someone who got it to like cut open the top stitching and slide a filter in. But we don't make them that way because we're trying to make as many as we possibly can, and a filter pocket would be an extra set of procedures. And I do think about it, and I think about what they might need. And
I just want to show off the hummingbird that Eli embroidered onto this.
And on weekends, when I'm not trying to make 100 at a time, sometimes I just get to embroider 1, and that's fun. And yeah, our local hospitals, we have 3 in the area, and the one near our house actually last month sent out an announcement saying, "Thank you, everyone, we have enough. We have enough cloth masks. We're laundering them and reusing them, and you don't need to donate them to us." And it's like, yes, Our local hospital is stocked. All right, now we're doing the one over in Keene, in New Hampshire, and also
Yeah,
the one up in Townsend.
We talked a bit about this on I think the first mask making
Yeah,
tutor or so along.
yeah.
Eli joined the local mask making group so that everybody it's partially run.
It no longer is run by the town.
Oh, okay.
No,
Well, it was originally
a town employee helped set it up, which was nice.
So they were organizing with the state and with local, not just the hospital, but businesses and everything that needed.
Yeah.
And so there is a spreadsheet somewhere that everybody who is part of the mask making group is looking at. So a local business like our grocery store down the road contacts somebody in the group and is like, we need this many masks. And so everybody knows that Price Chopper needs this many masks and can mark off when those masks have been dropped off so that there's not like an over abundance.
Yeah.
There's not too many masks going to Price Chopper and then no masks going to the family doctor up in Putney.
Now, it's my personal opinion that Price Chopper should reimburse the volunteer group and buy like 100 yards of cotton, because frankly, Price Chopper has money and can do that. But like the local nursing homes, we're just going to supply them with masks, no questions asked. Get as many masks as we can on the faces all over the place. And yeah, that's part of what the whole mask making effort at Shapeshifters has been, is people buy a mask and then we also donate.
Alanis is asking if they can donate supplies.
You can donate them to the mask making group or you can donate them to us. We only donate masks made from donated supplies. I have been tracking that. And we'll put a link in the description because, yeah, the group has been really wonderful and it's just full of, we're in quilting country. It's
a link to what?
The mask sewing Southern Vermont, Southwestern New Hampshire webpage. There's a new webpage now, which is where is it though? Yeah, that. Try that.
We're also asking about an Amazon wish list with what we need.
We don't. We've been Amazon free for a while. Gosh, what we need at this point, we're really good. Like, we've got this pile of fabric behind us that we're processing at this point. We're set for supplies. We've got rope from Agreeable Agony. We've got the bias tape maker to make bias tape. We're set for a while, which I'm really happy to say. Yeah.
I can't even load our website.